Peace and y'all bless. Y'all's a strong one. The strong one is Yah. He's the tree of life. He's the fountain of living waters. He's the spirit and creator of all things that live and breathe. Peace, global citizens. On this particular discourse, I'm going to talk about the book of Joshua. Now, for all who have read the Old Testament, the so-called Old Testament, it's really called the book of remembrance. You probably read the book of Joshua. And after Moses had passed away, Joshua took the lead. And when Joshua took the lead, he was able to lead the people into the land and also divide the land amongst the 12 tribes of Israel. Well, if you know the story, Joshua sent the two spies into the city first to spy the city out, to see what was going on, okay, at that particular time. Well, his two spies ran into this harlot, whose name was Rahab. When they ran into her, she went ahead and hid them from some of the city inhabitants who were looking for the spies because they heard they had came there. So they were looking for the spies that Joshua had sent in. So she hid them. And because she had hid them, then she asked them to make a pact, with her, that whenever the Israelites were going to come and invade the city, that they would spare her father's house. Okay? And that's what you basically read in the second chapter of Joshua. And I'll go ahead and read. Let's start at verse 12. Okay? So open up your Bible. Let's start there. Book of Joshua. Okay? Second chapter. Now, therefore, I pray you, swear unto me by Yah, since I have showed you kindness, that you will also show kindness to my father's house, and give me a true token. And this is Rahab talking to the spies, okay? And that ye will save alive my father and my mother and my brethren and my sisters and all that they have, and deliver our lives from death. This was the pact that she wanted to make with the spies, and they accepted and said, okay, we'll do that whenever we come and invade the land. We will save them all alive, okay? They said, make sure that you don't utter this business to anybody, about us coming here to spy out the land. That's what you read here in verse 14, and I'll read it. And the men answered her, for our life, for yours, okay? If ye utter not this our business, and it shall be, when Yah hath given us the land, that we will deal kindly and truly with thee. Okay? So they made a pact with Rahab the harlot. Okay? Like, look, okay, when we come into the land, we will do exactly as we said we would do, as long as you don't utter this business to anyone else. Okay? Verse 18. Behold, when we come into the land, thou shalt bind this line of scarlet thread in the window which thou didst let us down by. Okay? And thou shalt bring thy father and thy mother and thy brethren and all of thy father's household home with thee. So that was what was made. That was the deal that was made between them. Okay? Rahab the harlot and Joshua's spies, Joshua's men. Okay? And I'm sure they translated this deal to Joshua, for approval. Okay? So once this deal was made, as long as she didn't open up her mouth and tell, what they were doing there or what their business was in the land. And because she saved their lives, because she actually let them out the window down by, a piece of scarlet thread. That's how they got away from the spies, because the spies came to her house and, was checking her house out, but they didn't know that, Joshua's men were hidden up on the roof, under some bushes or whatever they were hidden underneath, okay? And then she let them down and they went ahead and escaped. So, and they went back and made their report to Joshua, okay? So whenever they did invade, now this land they're talking about, the city is Jericho, okay? This is before they, the walls came crashing down, right? After the Israelites circled the city, right? Okay, those 7 times, okay? And then Yah knocked those walls down. They invaded the city and took the city of Jericho. So anyway, you all know the story. You've heard the story. So I'm saying all that to say this. Most of you people, you're going to need you a scarlet thread. You're going to need you a scarlet thread. Okay? Because some of you people think you're going to just walk into the land of Israel when this Jerusalem movement goes back. It's not going to be that easy. You're going to need some help. Okay? Some of you. All right? Some of you done some things before Yah's eyes that Yah, does not like. Okay? So you're going to need some help, from us Israelites, these true servants of Yah. Okay? You're gonna need some help. Okay? Some of y'all, you need to make some secret pacts, with some of us. You know what I mean? That some of your lives will be spared to escape the door to Babylon before Yah's judgment comes. And it's coming without a doubt, as many of you can already see. It's already in play. Okay? And it's been in play for many years. But it's more in play now, after what happened with the Iranian general that, the U.S. government, assassinated or killed or whatever happened, okay, to Soleimani, okay? That put in play a whole bunch of things, okay, that actually really proved and put in play what we all have been telling you about Jeremiah chapter 50 and 51, about how the Medes are going to come up and invade the door of Babylon, America, okay, the United States, one day. On a day that they're not going to know. They ain't going to know. When it happens, they're not going to know what's coming. It's just going to happen. It's not going to be any precursor or prelude to it. Okay? You can also read that in Isaiah chapter number 14 or 13. Okay? About the Medes. M-E-D-E-S, the Medes, or the Persians, right? Iran. Okay? And many nations with them, not just Iran by themselves, but Iran is the main character of the war theater in Isaiah 13 and Jeremiah chapters 50 and 51. The Medes, it calls them. That's their ancient name, the Medes, okay, the Persians or Iran. They're a very strong nation. Do not underestimate your opponent. Okay? Is that not what we learned from Bruce Lee, the martial artist? Never underestimate your opponent. Now, so the United States should not underestimate the Iranians, the Persians, or any of those nations that are with them, because Iran has pacts with who? The Russians and the Chinese. Okay? And that is a very, very strong trifecta. So before that day comes, yes, many people are going to want to escape the door of Babylon. To escape what? The wrath of Yah. Because it's actually Yah is the one who's sending these nations. It ain't the nations wanting to do it themselves. Yah is sending them for judgment. Okay? Against the door of Babylon. One of these days, We don't know when, but one of these days. But for sure, the one thing you want to have you a scarlet thread. Okay? You want to have you a scarlet thread that you and your household can escape. All right? And what did Most High tell you that? In Joel chapter 2 and verse 32, what the Most High explained to everybody in that particular chapter, that whosoever calls upon the name of Yah, whether they, Israelite, Black American, or whether they anyone else, those are the ones that he's going to reserve and save from that hour of judgment. That looming is very near, more near than many people think. Doesn't matter about all these projections about, gross domestic product and which nation's going to be doing this and which nation's going to be doing that. All that stuff doesn't really matter that much. All right? What matters is what nations are going to be left when Yah brings about his judgment. Okay? And when Yah leads this very much Jerusalem movement out of the door of Babylon, and it's going to happen. Okay? But you're going to need you a scarlet thread. Okay? You're going to need you some secret pacts. You know what I'm saying? With the Israelites. Like, look, man, just take me with you. Spare my father, spare my mother, spare my children, spare my father's household. Can I go home with you when the time comes? Okay? That you're reading right here. That Rahab had to do. Okay? Rahab. That's what she did. And even though she was a scarlet, I mean, a Scarlet. She was a harlot, you know, or a whore. Let me say it right. A harlot, a whore. Okay? Even though she was a harlot of Jericho, her family was still spared because she helped the children of Israel, the 2 spies, when they came into the land. Okay? This is long before we settled into what they call, you know, the land of Israel today. Okay? This is when we was, you know, was done traversing around in circles inside the desert, you know, after Moses passed away, and it was time for us to go into the land. When Moses had died off on Mount Nebo, and then Yah raised up Joshua to lead us in. But before we came into the land, he sent 2 spies in to check the land out, to see what was going on, into the city called Jericho. Okay? Before we crossed over to Jordan. Okay? So I'm just setting the story up for you. But many of you people, that's what you're going to need. You're going to need you a pack. You're going to need you a scarlet thread. Okay? The same way these people helped, okay, these 2 spies spared the lives of Rahab and her family. Okay, and all of her brethren, as it tells you right here, thou shalt bring thy father, thy mother, and thy brethren, and all of thy father's household home with thee. Some of y'all, you're going to need me, okay? You're going to need others like me to take you home with me, to spare your lives from Yah's great judgment soon to come. Okay? So be kind to Yah's servants, to his people. Because a lot of us, y'all going to need. And that's in the book. That what? That these people, you know, these Gentiles and these other Hebrew factions of people, they were what? They're going to cleave to the house of Jacob. They're going to cleave to us. Why? Because this situation right here in front of you, they need a scarlet thread. They need a scarlet line, okay? They need, you know, they need help. In other words, to get, to escape the daughter of Babylon, to escape Yah's great judgment to come. All right? You need you a scarlet thread. So get you a scarlet thread. All right? All right. So go read the book of Joshua, okay? Read the whole thing, but in particular, read those first opening chapters, you know, chapter 1, 2, 3, and on and on. Read the whole entire book of Joshua. But pay attention about, you know, to this story with the harlot, okay? And what happened, you know, with the city of Jericho. That famous city, okay? All right? That may be, okay? You will have a scarlet line, and that all your brethren can be spared, and your mothers, your fathers, and your lives will be delivered from death. It tells you right here, okay? All right? Let's read 13, and then we're going to go. And you will save alive my father, my mother, and my brethren, and my sisters, and all that they have, and deliver our lives from death, okay? Very, very important. Okay? So thank you all for listening. Peace and y'all bless. Go read the book of Joshua and get you a scarlet thread. Thank y'all for listening. Peace.